What sort of projects are you applying it to?
Yeah, I mean, without getting into too much detail, but maybe the one project I applied these kind of this framework to quite heavily was one of the ones I used as part of my assessment,
Mm,
which was for a new internal tool, a dashboard that's been developed to help a lot of our sales managers, sales leaders, sellers with sort of understanding and inspecting our business. So it's a tool that that comprises over 24 metrics. It's a single pane of glass dashboard that is a combination of over 20 different dashboards into a single pane of glass kind of view.
wow.
So for a lot of our sales leaders who maybe spend hours and hours and hours digging for data through all these dashboards, it's a kind of a simplified tool that gives them quick at a glance view of some of the key metrics to assess their business at their territory or area level,
Yeah.
which is great. So what I did was work quite closely with one of our kind of key stakeholders. We kind of went back and forth and iterated on some of the key success metrics because this is a brand new tool. We didn't know exactly how to evaluate the success of this project development. And actually, by having all these different training initiatives, all these enablement activities like a live training session or video demonstrations of the tool, we were trying to assess how we evaluate the project as a whole to know that this has been successful and is helping to drive results. So when we went kind of back and forth, we broke this down into kind of three key areas of kind of measurement. So one of those being awareness of the tool, which can comprise of how many people have logged into the tool and
Yep.
used the tool at least once. And we kind of aimed for, I think, somewhere around 70%.
Okay.
And then the other two kind of metrics we combined into one, which was the recency and recurrency of usage. So what that kind of means for an individual is if I am one of the participants, I would log in to the dashboard at least 6 times over a 90-day period. And from the kind of recency aspect, I would have logged into the dashboard at least once in the last 15 days.
Okay.
And then we coupled other kind of methods of evaluation. So we used surveys, we used kind of one-on-one interviews, focus groups to really understand whether, firstly, the quality of the product, is it there? Does it give the right level of data and insight to our sales leaders? Does it save time? Is it making sellers more productive because they're not having to dig around all these different dashboards? And kind of just an overall kind of NPS and measuring kind of the satisfaction of the tool as a whole.
Yeah.
And then using that kind of as a way to identify if there's more needs for kind of training opportunities, are there knowledge gaps, where we are now, and we're now starting to develop kind of more training activities to kind of close some of those gaps down. So that project as a whole, I think where we've applied Kirkpatrick has been brilliant, and we're kind of seeing real benefits of how we now measure not just this project, but also other projects internally within global sales operations.
Yeah. I mean, I can just imagine the time saving and the ability to make better decisions that those sales managers, those sales leaders must have because of that, the ease of access and the availability of the data through that kind of pane of glass of or aggregation of dashboards. I can imagine that's really helpful for them.
Yeah, and especially for sellers, I'm sure many people have a similar situation. Not everybody has time for training. So when you develop a training course, a module, e-learning, live training, actually, you may have minimum participation.
Wonderful. Fabulous. Thanks, Jay.